This specific tree is a black cherry plum. It's a Prunus saphiria.
Cherry blossoms are starting to sprout around the city. Evidence that spring is here.
This tree in particular had begun that process quite early on.
And not all cherry blossoms are the same.
These are all Japanese cherries of the same species, right? So as you can see, they haven't bloomed yet.
And if you live in Kitsilano, you'll see the little buds making their debut after the late season cold snap and snow, which has delayed some of the early season blossoms.
Most of the cherries that we grow in Vancouver can tolerate a lot colder temperatures, and they'd be maybe a little bit later to come out if that cold weather is sort of prolonged.
A UBC botanist says we can most likely expect the full blooms of pink and white by April.
We're probably anywhere from, depending on the cultivar, we're probably anywhere from 10 days to 2 weeks behind. But cherries have a habit of kind of catching up. So in, probably in 2 weeks, it'll seem a little bit closer to normal.
Some of them are coming in a little bit later this year. Luckily, our festival starts on the 1st, so we still have some time.
The executive director of the Vancouver Cherry Blossom Festival says they're ready to celebrate their 18th year and tracking blossom progress.
And we're hearing that accolades are coming out now, which is one of the cultivars. And then we had someone send in a report yesterday that akibonos, which are like sort of the most popular and the most prevalent throughout the city.
Kilmo says admiring cherry blossoms has been a tradition in Vancouver for a long time.
In the early 1930s, the two mayors of Japanese cities, Kobe and Yokohama, presented about 500 cherry trees, Japanese cherry trees, to Vancouver Park Board, right, as a gift for Japanese Canadians who served in World War I, right? And then after that, that kind of propelled the idea of planting flowering trees in boulevards, but that can be influenced by various other factors, right? By how the weather comes in and changes, right? So it just depends. Like I said, trees are living creatures, right? There's a lot of variables at play here.
And Dove says the festival has taken on a deeper meaning in recent years.
Something we learned last year, we were seeing record crowds. Bigger crowds at all the events than we had ever seen in our history. When we couldn't do anything during lockdown but go outside and walk around, like our connection to nature, our connection to the ecosystem of the city, I think took on some different significance.
In Vancouver, Angela Bauer, City News.